If you dabble around in the health and fitness community, you're probably no stranger to people chewing your ears about how creatine is some sort of magical supplement that will make you stronger overnight. Okay, while the part about it working overnight may be an exaggeration, creatine has actually been scientifically proven to increase strength, which can lead to muscle growth. All you gotta do is pop some pills or dump some powder into your protein shake, and it's ready, set, swole. Now, you must be thinking, that can't be right. No way these claims are true. And didn't that bald guy at your gym tell you that taking creatine would make all your hair fall out once? There must be some side effect to this miracle supplement, right? Well, it's okay to be hesitant to put anything into your body without weighing the pros and cons first. It's simply normal to be curious. That's why in today's video, we're setting the record straight and telling you everything you need to know about creatine. First up, what is creatine? So this seems like a good place to start. A lot of people will tell you all the good or bad things creatine can do for you, but no one really tells you what it actually is. Well, creatine is an intercellular amino acid derivative that is commonly found in the muscle cells of vertebrate animals. Now, if that sounded like a load of scientific mumbo-jumbo, don't worry, I've got you covered. To put it simply, creatine is an acid that your body produces via your kidneys and liver after eating protein. Animal proteins, particularly red meat and fish, naturally contain the most creatine. But if that's the case, why don't people just start eating more meat instead of taking supplements? Well, you see, here's where the problem comes in. The amount of creatine in these foods is so little that you'd have to eat an impossible amount of them in order to reach the levels found in most creatine supplements. The majority of the creatine in your body is stored in your muscle cells. It is then broken down to provide energy during physical activity. Creatine supplements simply increase your creatine stores, thereby improving your exercise performance. As a result, creatine has become one of the most popular supplements on the market. Once you take these supplements, they increase the efficiency of protein synthesis, which is necessary for effective training. Why? Well, that's because during the protein synthesis process, muscle tissue and cells that have been damaged during training are repaired and replaced. This recovery is necessary so that the muscles can adapt and become stronger, allowing you to train harder. While the creatine taken from a regular diet does the same thing, it isn't nearly as effective because it's almost impossible to get the amount of creatine we need from foods for us to see and feel the benefits. But make no mistake, creatine isn't a shortcut to getting buff. Creatine and most supplements on the market are more of an icing on the cake. If you don't put effort into your training and look at what you eat, even creatine can't help you. Now, let's talk about what happens when you take creatine. To understand this, first you need to know what happens when your body ingests creatine. You see, the first thing that happens is that your muscles get to work and convert creatine into creatine phosphate, which is then converted into adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which gives your body an explosive burst of energy that helps you while working out. As previously stated, in order to get the amount of creatine required to make a difference, you'd have to eat an ungodly amount of food that contains creatine. This is the reason why supplement makers have made things easier. Instead of having to eat pounds upon pounds of red meat, all you have to do is take creatine in a pill or powder format. Now that's definitely easier than carrying a dozen pieces of steak in your gym bag, albeit a little less appetizing for sure. But how does it work? Okay, so creatine supplements just increase your body's capacity to store creatine, but how does all of this fit into muscle growth? Creatine improves the body's ability to generate more energy more quickly. The process is simple, really. If you know anything about how muscles are grown, you'll know that after you work out, your body repairs damaged muscle fibers through a cellular process in which muscle fibers fuse together to form new muscle protein strands, or myofibrils. As you keep working out, the process keeps repeating itself, and these repaired myofibrils continue to multiply and thicken over time. Now, since taking creatine gives you more energy and strength, you'll be able to push harder during your workouts. Hopefully you can see what we're getting at here. If you can lift more weight or do more reps, you can cause more muscle fiber tears, which your body can then repair and rebuild bigger and stronger after your workout. Most people don't really feel the difference while they're on creatine. Maybe they see they can push a little bit more weight or can do 1 or 2 more reps. You might be underwhelmed by that, but those 2 extra reps really do add up over time. However, when you stop taking creatine, that's when you'll notice what it was doing for you. For the first few workouts off creatine, you'll feel a bit weaker, and you'll notice you can't do the same amount of reps with the same weight you were lifting while you were on creatine. But you don't have to worry if you miss 1 to 2 days of taking your creatine though, because it takes a few days for your creatine stores to lower. But wait, does it have any side effects? If you're concerned about the side effects of creatine, rest assured in knowing that it is one of the most well-researched supplements and is currently thought to be perfectly safe. There have been reports of kidney damage, blood sugar concerns, heart problems, muscle cramps and pulls, dehydration, and diarrhea, but most of these have been pure anecdotal, with little to no medical evidence that they were caused by taking creatine. Most side effects are reported during something called the loading phase, which we'll cover in a moment. However, they do tend to subside after a few days. In most cases, even these side effects happen due to user error rather than the supplement itself, since some people make the mistake of taking too much creatine at once rather than dividing their doses evenly throughout the day. Be wary of water retention too. The one thing that you do need to take special care of if you're using creatine supplements is that you're drinking a ton of water. The average person should drink 6 to 8 cups of water, but when taking creatine, you should drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day, or maybe even more depending on your exercise regimen. But why? The thing is that creatine causes something called water retention. Creatine monohydrate is osmotic, which means it attracts and retains small amounts of water. According to studies, because of this, the body's water content should be able to keep up as creatine intake increases. Now, don't be worried because it isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're drinking enough water, that is. You see, the creatine will actually pull all the water into your muscles, making them appear bigger and fuller. Now, tell me that doesn't make you want to go chug a bottle of water right now. Finally, what supplement should you be taking and how much? If you do decide to take creatine, make it creatine monohydrate, as it's one of the most studied supplements on the market and has been shown to have one of the best benefits for strength and muscle growth. While creatine pills can do the job, most experts claim powdered creatine monohydrate is the way to go, since liquid creatine and creatine ethyl ester are unstable and deteriorate in the body. As for how much you should take, the standard recommended dosage is 3 to 5 grams per day. The ISSN recommends taking 5 grams of creatine monohydrate 4 times daily when you begin taking creatine. This is also called the loading phase. Like we touched upon earlier in the video, you can maximize your muscle stores within 1 week or less. In simpler terms, this strategy involves taking 20 grams of creatine daily for 5 to 7 days to saturate your muscles rapidly, followed by 3 to 5 grams daily to maintain high levels. In order to be safe, experts recommend that you only use creatine supplements if you have no pre-existing heart or kidney issues. That's a wrap for this video. Hopefully you found this information helpful. Is there anything else people should know about creatine? Let us know in the comment section down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.